question to you, sir, is what is Pakistan actually like from your eyes, especially when you were visiting the Sikhi-related centers? What was it like?
Opposite of this.
Okay.
And what you've said about Pakistan, one can make a case of India on that as well. Like who's really creating the narratives of India which are fed there and vice versa. So I'll leave that aside because that game is of spinning.
Like you're saying there are narratives on both sides.
Yeah, of course I see that. And they're available globally. Depends on what gets cited, and who's using which IT cells these days. A lot of that's happening through a state propaganda. But look, when I visit there, not just the Sikh centers, I go all over. I mean, I've been to Peshawar. I went all the way to Afghanistan border in Pakistan.
Really?
I go to Hindu centers. I've gone to the temples, which are much older than the heritage centers here in some cases. Because you see, you have to realize, you're talking about what's in the textbook. Harappa Mohenjo-daro is an old civilization. India and Pakistan is a modern context. It's a conquest context. It's a colonial context, right? So if you take that out for a second, it's the same people with multiplicity of ideas and plurality of religions and languages, and culture is part of that. So I go to Takshla there too. Takshla is there. It's where Guru Nanak, there's a place called Panja Sahib, and from there it's only an hour drive, and Takshla is right in the middle before we go to Islamabad. So I visit places which are historical, the museums, the cultural centers. I actually speak in many forums, including the language forum called Pilak in Lahore, and I can tell you, the people's narrative is very clear. They love it. They watch all the movies from here as well.
They love India.
They love people's part. Now, every government has their own elements. So there are elements who don't like certain things. Obviously, there are state narratives everywhere. 2 years ago, I said this, I'll share it on your show. What I noticed between India and Pakistan, if I may bring that together, because that's what I believe in. I believe in integrations of ideas and not feeding the forces which are more negative. Look, India is a relatively more democratic state, which has been called non-democratic now in the last few years, which is heading toward becoming a security state. Pakistan is a security state, struggling to come out of being a security state. So that's where what's happening, politically speaking. When I look at people's level, if you look at exchange even this month, I mean, there are literature festivals where people like Jyoti Rai are sitting in Sindh and Karachi. Obviously, people's part is same. We cannot amplify the narrative which is divisive. The Hindu community of Pakistan, which people need to know, is actually pretty vibrant.
Really?
Which people don't know here because that narrative is not being told. And it's larger in number than Sikhs. Narratives you hear at Sikhs mostly.
Okay.
If you want to guess, how many Sikhs live in Pakistan?
How many?
Less than 9,000. You want to guess how many Hindus live in Pakistan?
Go for it.
It's in lakhs. They have a strong lobbying group. They're educated. They're wealthy. There was a case a year and a half ago where one of the pilgrimage centers, if I'll call it, it had a pool, talab tha, and they took the case all the way to Supreme Court and won because it was not being taken care of. Actually, given the circumstances of the country, they're struggling, obviously. They're struggling as a country.